The only thing that really I was upset about is when he fired me.
As we learned about Mike Shanahan, I don't think he was the kind of guy that responded well to being told what to do. Al Davis, I think, certainly thought he knew better.
He told me, he said, hey, I just want you to know, I'm going to let you go, but if you go to the Denver Broncos, I'm not going to pay you. So if you let me go, I have to get a job. I got a contract.
Personality clash, philosophy clash, control.
That kind of started the feud.
It's my great pleasure to introduce the new head coach of the Denver Broncos, Mike Shanahan.
Mike saw himself being a very good head coach. He saw a bigger picture. And when he was in Oakland, his ideas and what he wanted to do were always second guessed.
Mike Shanahan was a young head coach. And when you're in your early to mid 30s, you don't have the maturity or even the confidence to be able to go head to head with somebody who has already won 3 Super Bowls.
I found out after being a head coach for a year and 4 games, I would rather be in an organization that was going to give you a chance to win a Super Bowl.
When Pat Bowlen was like, hey, I'm just going to let you take it. I hired you and I trust you. You saw how Mike was able to bring in not only players, but people who he felt could help us.
Looking back on your head coaching experience with the Raiders, will we see a different type of coaching anyway from your years?
Oh, God, we see a different type of coach. I'll actually be able to talk to you and not get in trouble, so that's one plus. I'll be able to diagram plays and actually talk to you after practice. That's another plus. So, yeah, there'll be some changes.
Denver, Colorado on a beautiful evening. Mile High Stadium jam-packed. A perfect setting tonight. The Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos.
Mike Shanahan, who coached the Raiders in 1988 for the entire season, and then was fired 4 games into the 1989 season. Comes back to face the Raiders.
The coaches changed their tone a little bit. It felt like we had to win that game.
They can't beat the Raiders.
They know they will be in deep trouble if they lose tonight. They will be 3 games behind the Raiders.
The Raiders have won 11 of the last 12 meetings between these 2 ball clubs.
And he vocalized that he did not like the Raiders. More specifically, he did not like Al Davis.
The Raiders believe they've won because they have just flat out intimidated the Broncos. Mike Shanahan has told his ball club and preached to them, you've got to fight back. You can't just take it from the silver and black.
As a player, you hear your head coach talk like that, you start to buy into it, and you feel like you're obligated to go win that game for your head coach.
It's really difficult to get across how much pressure is on this Denver Bronco football team to somehow make a stand against the Oakland Raiders.
The first game I played, it didn't work out too well for me. Like, it was one of the worst games I had played in.
And it is Terrell Davis going next to nowhere.
I caught a flat route, and there's nobody within 25 yards in front of me. And all of a sudden, I just fall down. I trip and fall down.
Catch is made by Davis, who falls down to the 20-yard line.
Ooh, and that's a shame for the Broncos. He most certainly would have picked up a first down.
But in this instance, his struggles ended up being the triumphs of old number 7.
2nd and inches. Elway going for the end zone. Touchdown, Miller. Goal by Elway, surveying the end zone, throws, and it is caught. 14-0. How sweet would this one be for Mike Shanahan? Elway looking for blackjack. Touchdown, Anthony Miller. Yes, sir.
They have just discarded any pretense of running the football tonight, throwing it exclusively.
Taking Al Davis's recipe and saying, hey, I can do it too, and I can do it in your face.
Going to look at Al Davis, who, well, he doesn't smile very often anyway, but certainly not a lot to smile about with the performance tonight.
It just shows you how players, when you respect your coach and you believe in what he's doing, you're going to fight for him. And that's what I felt when we walked out that field and we won that game, that it was like, Mike, we took care of that for you. We got your back, Mike, don't even worry about it. So he was able to ride off 27-0 and feel like, all right, that's the first one. I got one. I got the Raiders in this one.
And I think we got to the point where, we were expecting to win, and if you didn't, it was really a disappointment. But when you did beat the Raiders, I got to admit it was special.
And we were able to go ahead and take that as sort of a launching pad for years to come. And I don't know the numbers, but I believe we dominated the Raiders when I was there.
During your era, you guys won 10.
Yeah. And that's good.
Yeah.
I think Mike was proud of us.